Hello, everyone! Welcome back to Daily Speak English, the place where learning English feels calm, easy, and encouraging. I'm Emily.
And I'm Alex. It's really nice to be here again with you all. Today's topic is something I think every English learner has felt at least once, maybe many times.
Oh, yes, definitely. We're talking about building confidence when speaking English.
That's right, because you can know a lot of words, you can understand grammar, you can even write beautifully, but when it's time to speak, suddenly everything disappears.
Exactly. That moment when your heart starts racing, your mind goes blank, and you feel shy or nervous, it happens to almost everyone learning English.
Including us, by the way. I remember when I first tried to speak another language, I was so afraid of making mistakes that I almost whispered every word.
Same here. I used to worry so much about sounding silly or saying something wrong, but later I realized something really powerful, that confidence doesn't come before you speak. It comes after you start speaking.
I love that. Let's repeat it slowly for our listeners. Confidence doesn't come before you speak. It comes after you start speaking.
Yes, so if you're listening right now and you're afraid to speak English because you think, I'm not ready yet, we want to tell you, you are ready.
That's the truth. You build confidence step by step, not in your head, but by using your voice.
Exactly. Let's talk about why so many learners lose confidence when speaking. I think one big reason is comparison.
Yes, that's a big one. You listen to someone speak English fluently, maybe your teacher or a YouTuber, and you start thinking, wow, they speak so perfectly. I can never sound like that.
And that thought, that single comparison, kills your confidence before you even begin. But here's what most people don't realize. That fluent person you're comparing yourself to, they also started from zero.
Absolutely. Everyone starts somewhere. Even native speakers sometimes struggle to find the right words or forget what they were going to say.
Oh yes, it happens to me too, even in my own language.
So, confidence in English isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with being imperfect.
Exactly. And I think comfort grows from kindness. Kindness to yourself. If you can be gentle with your own mistakes, you'll grow much faster.
I completely agree. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They're proof that you're learning.
You know, Alex, I once read a quote that said, "You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by falling down."
That's beautiful and true for language learning too. You don't learn to speak English by memorizing every grammar rule. You learn by using English, even when it's messy, even when it's not perfect yet.
So let's imagine you're in a real situation. Maybe you're at work and your boss suddenly asks you a question in English. What happens inside you?
Most people freeze. Their brain says, oh no, I can't do this. But here's what's really happening. It's not your English that's the problem. It's your mindset.
Yes, your brain is trying to protect you from feeling embarrassed. But if you can tell yourself, it's okay, I'm learning, I can do this, your confidence will grow little by little.
That's such a helpful mindset. One simple trick I tell my students is this: take a deep breath before you speak. Just that one moment helps you slow down, calm your nerves, and organize your thoughts.
I love that. Breathing is powerful. It tells your body, I'm safe. And when your body feels safe, your brain can think more clearly.
Exactly. And when you do speak, don't rush. English isn't a race. You don't need to speak fast to sound fluent.
Yes, please don't rush. Take your time, pause, think. Even native speakers pause while speaking.
Right. Pauses make your speech sound more natural, not less.
You know, Alex, sometimes learners say, but I forget words when I speak.
Oh, that's common. But forgetting a word doesn't mean you failed. It just means you need to describe the idea differently. That's a great skill, actually.
Exactly. For example,
If you forget the word umbrella, you can say something you use when it rains. That's clear communication.
Yes, and that's real English. Fluent speakers do that all the time. We describe things when we forget words too.
So, listeners, remember, confidence isn't about using big, fancy words. It's about being understood.
That's a great reminder. Simple English spoken clearly is more powerful than complicated English spoken nervously.
So true. And you know, confidence isn't only about speaking English. It's also about believing in yourself as a learner.
Yes, you have to believe that your effort matters. Every time you say something in English, even if it's small, even if it's not perfect, that's progress.
Absolutely. And you might not see the improvement right away, but it's happening. Every conversation you try, every sentence you speak, it's building your confidence quietly inside you.
I like that image. Confidence growing quietly, like a small plant. You don't see it every day, but it's there, getting stronger.
Yes, and you need to water that plant with positive thoughts.
Beautiful metaphor, Emily. So maybe we can give our listeners a few confidence watering tips, little habits that help them feel braver when speaking English?
Great idea. Okay, here's one. Speak English to yourself every day.
Yes, that's such a powerful practice. You can talk about your day, describe what you're doing, or even imagine conversations.
Exactly. For example, if you're making breakfast, you can say, I'm boiling the eggs, or I'm spreading butter on the bread.
That's perfect. And when you do that daily, your mouth gets used to English sounds and your brain gets more confident forming sentences.
Another tip, record yourself speaking.
Oh, yes, I love that one. Many learners avoid it because they don't like their voice.
Yes, but it's such a good way to improve. When you listen back, you'll notice your pronunciation, your tone, and you'll also realize, hey, I actually sound better than I thought.
Exactly. Most people are surprised when they listen to their recordings. It helps you hear progress that you can't feel in your daily routine.
So, listeners, try this. Record yourself talking for 1 minute every day. Maybe talk about what you learned or how you feel.
And then, after a week, listen again. You'll notice something small. Maybe your voice sounds more relaxed, or your sentences are smoother. That's confidence growing.
That's right. Confidence isn't something that arrives one day with a big boom. It's something you build.
Step by step, word by word.
Exactly. And if you feel nervous when speaking to others, remember this. Everyone is focused on themselves, not on your mistakes.
Ah, that's so true. We often think people are judging us, but really, they're just thinking about their own lives, their own English, their own thoughts.
Yes, so don't give fear too much power. It's just a thought. You can talk through it.
I like that. Talk through your fear.
Yeah, imagine your fear is sitting beside you, but you keep speaking anyway. You smile, breathe, and keep going.
That's courage. And courage creates confidence.
Beautifully said.
So, listeners, remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. Speak, listen, breathe, and learn from every moment.
Exactly. And we're here to remind you that you're doing great. You're already on the right path just by listening to this podcast and practicing English today.
That's right. So, take a deep breath, smile, and be proud of yourself.
You're learning a global language. You're opening doors to new people, new jobs, and new opportunities. That's amazing.
It really is.
So, Alex, I have a question. What's one small moment that helped you build your own confidence when speaking another language?
That's a nice question. I remember once I was traveling, and I had to ask for directions in Spanish. I was so nervous, but when I tried, the person understood me and smiled. And that moment gave me a huge boost.
That's wonderful. Sometimes one small success can change everything.
Exactly. Confidence is built through experiences, not through thinking.
Oh, yes. You can't think your way to confidence. You have to act your way to confidence.
Perfectly said.
And for our listeners, even listening to this podcast right now is an action. You're practicing your listening and you're building your mindset.
Exactly. And speaking of mindset, I think that's where real confidence begins. It's not just about speaking English, it's about how you see yourself.
Yes, you have to see yourself as a capable learner, someone who's growing every day.
Because if you keep telling yourself, I'm not good at English, your brain will believe that story.
True. But if you tell yourself, I'm improving every day, your brain will start looking for proof of that.
That's the power of self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters.
Exactly. Your inner voice can be your biggest supporter or your biggest critic.
So, listeners, ask yourself, what kind of voice do you want inside your head?
I hope it's a kind one, because that's the voice that helps you grow.
You know, Emily, I think the biggest change in my own language journey happened when I stopped focusing on mistakes and started focusing on connection.
Oh, that's a really good point. When we focus on connection, on understanding and being understood, we stop worrying so much about grammar or accent.
Exactly. Because people remember how you made them feel, not whether your verb tense was perfect.
Yes, when you speak with kindness and confidence, even small grammar mistakes don't matter. Communication is about energy, your tone, your warmth, your smile.
That's so true. And I think that's one reason why many learners feel nervous when speaking. They think everyone is listening to every single word, when really people are listening to the feeling behind your words.
Absolutely. If you speak with sincerity, even simple English sounds beautiful.
That reminds me of one of my students. Her name was Hannah. She used to be so shy that she almost whispered every time she spoke. But she practiced speaking every day, even if just for 2 minutes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, and one day, she told me something that made me smile. She said, Alex, I stopped trying to speak perfect English. I just started trying to speak kind English.
Wow, that's so powerful.
I know, and guess what? When she stopped chasing perfection, she became more fluent naturally.
That's the magic, isn't it? When you relax and enjoy communication, the learning happens faster.
Exactly. Confidence grows in calmness, not in pressure.
Yes, and that's what we want to help our listeners feel today. Calm confidence. Not the kind that says, I'm the best, but the kind that says, I'm improving.
That's such a beautiful difference. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's peace.
Yes, confidence is quiet. It's that gentle feeling that says, I can try.
I love that. I can try. That's where all progress begins.
And you know, Alex, I think many people are waiting for a perfect time to start speaking English. They think, when I learn more grammar, then I'll speak. Or when I sound better, then I'll talk.
Oh yes, that's such a common trap. But that perfect time never comes. The only time you truly have is now.
Exactly. Confidence begins in the present moment. You can't wait for it. You create it by speaking now, however imperfectly.
So true. And I think one of the most helpful daily habits is to create small speaking moments.
Yes, like little confidence exercises throughout your day.
Exactly. For example, talk to yourself in English while you cook, or describe what you see on the way to work.
Or if you're shy, start with very short phrases. Say good morning to someone or how are you?
Those little moments matter. Every time you use English in real life, you're training your brain to feel comfortable.
Yes, and comfort builds confidence.
You know, Emily, I sometimes tell my students to imagine English like a swimming pool.
Oh, I like this analogy already.
When you stand on the edge, thinking, I'll jump when I'm ready, you never feel ready. But once you take that first small jump, maybe into the shallow water, your body starts adjusting. You learn to float, to move, and eventually to swim.
That's a perfect example. You can read about swimming all day, but until you get into the water, you won't really learn it.
Exactly, and the same is true for English. You can study books and watch videos, but confidence only grows when you use it.
That's right. So for everyone listening, don't wait to be perfect. Jump in. Even if your English feels small, it's enough to start.
And once you're in the pool, you'll realize it's not as scary as you thought.
That's so true. Fear looks big from far away, but smaller when you face it.
Yes, and you'll also find that people are much kinder than your fear tells you. Most people are happy to listen and help you.
That's a very good point. We imagine people judging us, but often they're actually admiring our effort.
Exactly. Imagine hearing someone speak your language as a learner. Even if they make mistakes, you'd probably think, wow, they're trying. That's amazing.
Right. So, listeners, remember, people appreciate your effort more than you realize.
Absolutely. And one more thing I'd like to add, don't underestimate the power of body language when speaking English.
Oh, yes, that's an important one.
Sometimes, even if your words are simple, your confidence can shine through your posture, your smile, your eye contact.
Yes, when you stand tall and breathe deeply, your voice sounds stronger and your energy feels more confident.
Exactly. So before you speak, try this. Take a deep breath, lift your chin slightly, and smile. It sends a signal to your brain that says, I can do this.
That's such a simple but powerful exercise.
And it works in every situation, at work, in class, or even during an online meeting.
You know, Alex, I think sometimes confidence is not about learning more, it's about remembering what you already know.
Wow, yes, that's so true. We often forget how much progress we've already made.
Exactly. Learners sometimes say, my English isn't improving, but then they forget how far they've come since last year.
Yes, I always tell them to look back. Think about your first English class. Think about the first time you said hello or how are you and how hard it felt then.
And look at you now. You can understand this podcast. That means your listening skills are strong. You can follow a natural conversation between two native speakers. That's real progress.
Absolutely. So if you ever feel like you're not improving, just look back. Confidence grows when you appreciate your own journey.
That's such good advice. Gratitude and self-awareness are secret ingredients for confidence.
Oh yes, gratitude changes everything. When you say, I'm grateful for how much I've learned, your mind relaxes. It starts to trust itself again.
Yes, and then learning becomes easier because you're not fighting yourself anymore.
Exactly. Confidence isn't about being loud or showing off. It's about trusting yourself.
I love that. Confidence is trusting yourself. That's a quote worth remembering.
Definitely.
So, Alex, what do you think about accent? Many learners feel shy because of their accent.
Yes, that's such an important topic. You know, I think accents are beautiful. They're part of your identity, your story.
I completely agree. Your accent shows where you come from, your background, your culture. It's not something to hide.
Exactly. Having an accent doesn't mean you're bad at English. It means you speak English with experience.
I love that. You speak English with experience. That's such a kind way to think about it.
Thank you. I think learners need to hear that more often. The goal is not to sound like a native speaker. The goal is to be understood and authentic.
Yes, and honestly, people love accents. It makes conversations more interesting and colorful.
Totally. The world is full of different Englishes. American, British, Indian, Nigerian, Filipino, and many more. There's no single perfect English.
Right. English is global now. So the most confident speakers are the ones who speak clearly, kindly, and authentically.
That's so true. So, listeners, if you've ever felt shy because of your accent, remember, it's a part of your charm.
Yes, and instead of trying to erase it, focus on clarity, making sure your pronunciation helps others understand you easily.
Exactly. That's what true communication is. Not sounding native, but sounding clear and confident.
You know, Alex, I once met a man who spoke English with a strong Italian accent, and he told me, Emily, I don't want to lose my accent because it's like my signature.
Oh, that's beautiful. His accent was part of his personality.
Exactly. And that confidence made everyone love listening to him.
That's a great lesson. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from acceptance.
So true. Accept who you are, accept where you are in your journey, and then speak proudly.
Yes, confidence blooms from self-acceptance.
And self-acceptance takes practice, just like English does.
Definitely. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
You know, one helpful practice for our listeners could be daily affirmations.
Oh yes, I love affirmations.
Me too. They really shape your mindset.
For those who might not know the word, affirmations are positive sentences you tell yourself every day to build confidence and motivation.
Exactly. For example, you can say, I am confident when I speak English, or I learn something new every day.
Yes, even if you don't fully believe it at first, repeating it every day trains your mind to think differently.
Right, because your brain listens to your words. The more you repeat positive thoughts, the more your brain starts to believe them.
That's so true. And the best part? You can do this anywhere, in the shower, while walking, or before sleeping.
Yes, I sometimes say mine before recording podcasts. It really helps me feel calm and focused.
Same here. It's a great confidence booster.
So, listeners, here's a small exercise for you. After this episode, write down 3 affirmations about your English. They can be simple, like, my English is improving, or I speak with confidence.
And say them out loud every day for 1 week. You'll notice how your energy changes.
Yes, it really works.
And another thing that helps build confidence, celebrate your small wins.
Oh, yes, we don't do that enough.
Exactly. When you speak a sentence correctly, or when you understand a new word, celebrate that. Smile. Say, yes, I did it.
That's right, because those small wins build big confidence over time.
Absolutely. Confidence is built in moments, not milestones.
I love that. Confidence is built in moments, not milestones.
Thank you. And it's true. Every little success adds up.
So, listeners, celebrate your progress, even the small steps, because one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come.
That's the beauty of learning. It's not fast, but it's real.
Yes, and as long as you keep showing up, keep speaking, and keep believing, your confidence will grow naturally. You know, Alex, the more we talk about confidence, the more I realize it's not really about English. It's about how we see ourselves.
Exactly. When we believe we can express ourselves, English becomes just a tool, not something to be afraid of.
I like that. Confidence grows when you stop judging yourself and start enjoying the process.
Yes. Try to think of English conversations like planting seeds. Every word you speak is helping something grow inside you. Patience, courage, and self-trust.
Beautifully said. And remember, everyone learns at a different speed. Comparing yourself to others only slows you down.
True. Your journey is yours. Just keep showing up, one sentence at a time.
If you make mistakes, smile. If you forget a word, breathe. It's okay. What matters is that you try again.
And every time you do, your voice gets stronger, your English gets smoother, and your confidence shines brighter.
So, dear listeners, be proud of your effort today. You spoke, you listened, and you learned.
Yes, confidence doesn't happen in one day. It grows with every conversation, including this one.
Thank you for spending this time with us. You're doing amazing, and we believe in you.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep practicing English every day, not for perfection, but for progress.
Exactly. Speak with heart, learn with patience, and remember, your English voice matters.